I'm
How
gonna get
old
it.
is it?
I got it like August 2010.
Okay, mine
So
was from 2011, and it was really getting slow.
yeah, because when you update them,
Uh huh.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a new one in like Christmas.
Hmm.
Thereabouts. I don't know. It might be February. I see. The thing is, like, I don't want to buy it right before they release a new model
Yeah.
because that would suck.
When did they release a new? You mean like a whole new model?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like I buy it a
Yeah.
week before they release the new model.
Oh yeah.
Um,
But you really don't know when they're going to do that, right?
yeah. So I want to do it right after they release a new model.
Okay.
So I'll just be state of the art at the get
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. I mean, I got the Air. I
Alrighty.
didn't want to pay for like a whole like a MacBook Pro. Couldn't afford it. But really, this was a good price. I got it for like $1,000.
Yeah, they're not too bad. They get the job done. Alrighty.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
it. So transfer property at death. Okay, this is like the different types of way to.
Yeah. So intestate versus testate, you have non-probate transfers such as a trust, a right of survivorship, like joint tenancy with right of survivorship,
Hmm.
um, transfer upon death, the bank accounts or other financial accounts, and then you have contracts like life insurance.
Okay.
And then I would just skip like the pros and cons, like who cares about that really?
Yeah, it's policy stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for testing purposes. Intestate succession,
Hmm.
you die without a will, or a will that doesn't cover all the property, so you can die partially intestate. And the probate is based on laws of descent and distribution.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you'd put that in the. This person died without a will,
Mm-hmm.
therefore the laws of descent and distribution in Texas apply.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be
So,
good terminology to use.
and then you have to separate personal and real property.
Yes, that's correct. I was actually reading the other day about quasi community property,
That was actually one of my questions.
which
Does he have that in here?
I know that I have it in my
Actually, he does have it.
flashcards because I was
Oh,
reviewing
nice.
it. Or did you pull it?
It's in his. I just like controlled F quasi.
Okay, let me see if I'm right about this.
Okay.
So I think it's when a couple's married in another state that's not a community property state,
Hmm.
and um, let's say that the husband, or let's just say the couple moves to Texas and the
Right.
husband dies.
Yeah.
Upon death, okay, I think that upon death it's treated, his property is treated as community, not upon divorce, or is it the other way around?
It says in a divorce property that would have been community property in Texas can be divided like the
Okay.
court. So I think it's
But not in death.
no. Oh yeah. So does quasi community property apply to death? No, not
Mhm.
extended to probate situations.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. It's nice. So you move from another state that's not community property.
Yeah,
and
like,
you bring
or
it.
essentially you were married in a state that didn't have community property rules, but then if you get divorced
Mhm.
here, then community property laws apply to the estate.
Okay.
Would you
Nice.
call it an estate? I think you would. Community property estate. I don't know.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't apply at death.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it probably won't really come up in this class since we're kind of dealing with death.
Maybe multiple choice, like does quasi community property apply to death?
Oh, whoa, I'm scrolling through his outline. I'm gonna print this out tonight. Yeah, this is cool.
And I've gone through a lot of it and made some changes. It just makes it better.
Nice.
Gone through most of it, I think.
You rock, Chelsea. I'm gonna buy you a bunch of Starbucks.
Not necessary, but if you can just stay and go through it with me
Okay,
today,
we'll
I'll
do
be
it.
a happy camper.
So, intestate succession. Which states laws control? Okay, personal property, state of domicile at the time, and then real property is where it's located. Oh, that makes sense, right?
Okay, so what did you say? Personal property, state of domicile at time of death. Yeah, that state's law controls. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I guess if my watch was in Oklahoma, their laws would control how. What is
Well, I
that?
think it'd be like, so you're in Texas,
Oh, state where you're domiciled
yeah.
controls all the personal.
But if your property is in Oklahoma,
that makes sense.
Oklahoma law applies.
Okay. And then real property is just where the real property is actually located.
Yeah, that makes sense. Heir takes under intestate. Heir
Okay.
apparent, yeah.
So, yeah, heirs. You only use the term heir if you're talking about intestacy.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's a beneficiary. And you have the heir apparent, and that's someone who could possibly become an heir upon the person's death. Yeah.
Right.
Because you can't be an heir before the person dies, because you could die before that person.
Nice. Okay. And devisee takes under a will.
I would think it was supposed to be beneficiary. Would you say beneficiary or devisee?
You know what? I would say either one. I think they're interchangeable. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Devisee. That's not really my vocabulary right now.
Well, remember, like at common law, that you like bequest was only real property, device was real property, but now they're all interchangeable.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it was personal
like-
property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, nowadays that stuff doesn't matter.
Okay. My semantics at this point. So, yeah, if the deceased person is married, you have to distinguish between separate property and community property. And then
There's separate. This is nice, and it gives you the definition.
yeah, like I would try to remember, like, you know, if he asks you what if he asks us a short answer question, like, okay, distinguish between separate and community.
Oh, that'd be a good question. Yeah.
Separate would be property that's acquired either before marriage or by gift, devise, descent. Wait, gift, devise.
Yeah, you got it exactly right.
Is it gift,
After
devise,
marriage.
descent?
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because devise is will, descent is intestacy.
Yeah.
After marriage,
And then
Okay.
gift is like
and then recovery
Whatever.
for personal injuries.
nice, but not tested. Cool.
Yes,
And then-
I have a flashcard on that.
And remember, community property is like a bank account, money,
Yeah.
wages earned.
Well, there's a community property presumption, so everything that's acquired during marriage is presumed to be community property unless proved otherwise. And I think that's what
Okay,
convincing evidence.
nice. Nice. Oh my god, this guy is so put together. He has like everything.
Yeah.
Oh, the
I'm
citations.
telling you, it's money.
Nice. This is gold right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, property possessed either spouse during dissolution marriage. Okay, presumption to be, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see if we have a note card on separate, and then I'll give you access to these flashcards as well.
Nice.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but I don't think it hurts to have more than too much and too little.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I do have a flashcard on that. Excuse me. I need to get back to that outline. Where is it? It's hiding. Okay, here we go. Community property is everything else that's acquired by a spouse during marriage. Anything other than separate property, just remember the presumption.
Mm-hmm.
On the community property, there was a marriage immediately before the death. Okay.
Right.
Or it could be defined as property possessed by either spouse during or on dissolution of marriage, presumption. And then clear and convincing evidence is a burden of proof required to overcome it. Consanguinity is the term that means to say that you're related by to a person by blood. Affinity is relation by marriage. Only death, divorce, or annulment terminates affinity.
Just skip public policy.
Yeah, I kind of just want to delete that. I think I will. I don't want the extra reading. Who's an heir if there's no surviving spouse? No distinction between community and separate property, right? If you have a surviving spouse, you have to distinguish. Okay, intestate succession rules. An unmarried intestate. All the intestate's property passes to descendants. If no parents survive, then you have the parents. Each parent takes one half of the estate.
Mm-hmm.
One parent and a sibling or a sibling's descendants. The single surviving parent receives one half the estate, and the remaining one half passes to the siblings and or their descendants. And if there's no surviving descendants or parents, then the entire estate passes to siblings and their descendants. If there's no surviving descendants, no surviving parents or siblings or descendants of the siblings, then the estate is divided into two halves, which is referred to as moieties, and one half goes to the paternal grandparents, uncles, cousins, etc. The other half goes to the maternal side. There's no laughing heir statute in Texas.
Just go forever.
Yeah. And if there's absolutely no surviving heirs whatsoever, then the property will escheat to the state.
Right. What was the Loomis case?
Loomis says, does not escheat under these circumstances belongs to the other side. Yeah, basically, I guess just...
One moiety didn't have anyone.
Yeah. I guess that's what it is. So, like...
Okay.
I think that's what Loomis is about. Like, maybe there was one moiety that went to just one side of the family. Yeah. And they were saying, does the other moiety escheat, and it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Should I really look it up? Or?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I think that makes sense, though, because that's under the moiety
We just
discussion.
really need to run through the problems, too. And
Right.
I think that once we have a hold on that, we'll understand the rules really
Yeah.
well.
Married intestate.
If there's no surviving descendants in all community... Oh, yeah, married intestate, I'm sorry. If there's no surviving descendants, all community property is owned by the surviving spouse. It says here the surviving spouse retains one half of the community property and inherits the deceased spouse's other one half. But that's only if there's no descendants who are surviving. If there are surviving children or their descendants, let me see here. Surviving children or descendants, no non-spousal descendants. If all the surviving descendants are also descendants of the surviving spouse will own all the community property. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then if the surviving descendants are not also descendants of the surviving spouse, so let's say it's like an illegitimate child, quote unquote, or a stepchild, the surviving spouse retains his or her one half, and then the descendant of the deceased spouse inherits the other half of the community property. So that's an important distinction.
Yeah. Okay. So she gets one half, her one half, and then the children get the one half of his, so to speak.
If the child or descendant is not related to the surviving spouse.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Oh man, this is an outline of just.
Yeah, it's right on point.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to run through this one, Charles?
Okay. Distribution of separate property, surviving descendants, personal property. Okay, so you split it up. For personal property, the surviving spouse receives 1/3 of the separate property.
Okay.
But important to mention as a life estate. Well, I guess but the remaining 2/3 passes
Personal
to the.
property? You mean real property?
Oh no. Okay, yeah. Never mind. Good one, Chelsea.
So,
Nice.
surviving spouse receives 1/3
1/3
of the
separate personal property.
And the remaining, that's kind of a random rule. And didn't he say that was like the historical hangover?
Yeah, that's what he makes
That's what
fun
you were
of me.
talking about?
He always makes fun of me.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my term.
Yeah. And then, so the real property is where you have the life estate, and then the
So
remainder
you just
goes.
have to remember this like random number that is 1/3 of the separate. Personal property goes to the surviving spouse, and then 2/3 passes to the children or descendants. But then I guess that my question here is like, you know how we just made a distinction about the descendants of the surviving spouse versus the descendants of the deceased person only? When we were talking about community property,
Yeah.
remember how we just talked about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that you have the same situation where the children are related to the testator but not to the surviving spouse. Do they still, or I'm sorry, I take that back. Let's say they're related to the surviving spouse.
Hmm.
Do they still take 2/3, or does the surviving spouse take all of it, of the separate personal?
Yeah, I think that's just different. So it'd be this. So that's community property, and this
Yeah.
is separate property, and it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if
It doesn't matter.
if they're different
Okay.
parents. Yeah. That's for like community property.
Okay, that's a good distinction to make.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No surviving descendants. All separate
Oh
property.
wait, we didn't talk about real property.
Okay, so real property, surviving spouse receives a life estate in separate
Real
real
property.
property. Rest of property, 2/3 of the separate real property plus remainder interest passes to the children.
So the surviving spouse receives a life estate,
A 1/3 life estate.
a 1/3 life estate.
But remember, there's the homestead exception that the surviving spouse can live on the property.
I thought that was a life estate.
So it's like the 1/3. It's a life estate, and then that 1/3 passes to the
Descendants.
yeah, the descendants.
Upon the surviving spouse's death.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
And then my understanding is like the surviving spouse can live on the property. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's the homestead exception. Let me look that up real quick.
Well, as far as I know, that's essentially what a life estate is. Like, I think that with a life estate, you are required to live on a property. Like, you can't abandon it, you can't rent it out. Because if you do, then you relinquish your right to the life estate.
That's a good point. Okay.
Okay.
No surviving descendants.
Then for personal property, all the separate property passes to the surviving spouse. And then if there's real property, it says the surviving spouse inherits half of the separate real property, and the remaining half passes to the parent, siblings, or descendants. Okay, so surviving descendants,
Yeah.
the surviving spouse receives 1/3 life estate, right?
Right.
But if there's no surviving descendants, then the surviving spouse gets half of it altogether.
And then it starts going up the chain. Like parents, you do the moieties.
So there's no life estate if there's
No descendants.
no descendants. Or it's just a half ownership interest.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a tough distinction.
Yeah. I guess. That's kind of funky. I don't know.
That's real tough. Okay.
I guess just
highlight
like
that.
remember, if they're descendants, it's that 1/3 unique situation, the historical accretion.
Yeah.
And if there are no descendants, then you go up in the family tree, then the surviving spouse gets 1/2.
Okay. And then if there's no surviving parents, siblings, descendants of siblings, then the surviving spouse inherits all
nice.
of the separate
Okay.
real. What I just did was I just highlighted those two in pink,
Oh, okay.
so I can go back and be like, okay, I need to remember that. It's so random. Okay, and then we have this whole thing on unmarried cohabitants, which I don't care.
Right. If they're unmarried and they're not common law married, it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
just kind
they're
of a
just
trick.
playing
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Don't
Playing
go right
house.
there. You never heard that?
No.
Yeah. It's just where
Okay.
you like pretend like you're married, you know? It's like, oh, la la la.
Like as teenagers or?
Well, no, like couples who live together who are dating. I mean, I don't have anything against it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of like you're playing house because there's
That's
like
interesting.
no
I've never heard
real
that term.
commitment there. You're just like kind of playing pretend almost. I don't know.
Oh,
It's not really the same thing.
that's funny. Okay. You learn something new every day. Okay. Texas law, yeah, does not marry. Okay. No different if property was inherited from my mother, it will pass same way. I don't know what that means. No different if property was inherited from my. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's just nice to know. Why does a spouse get a 1/3 life estate? Historical hangover. Okay, nice.
Yeah. But the spouse only gets a 1/3 life estate in the separate real property if there are just other descendants of the testator, or not testator, of the the decedent.
So
If there are no surviving descendants of the decedent,
and
but
no
there are
servant,
parents,
then you
Then-
distribute those appropriately.
and the surviving spouse receives 1/2 of the separate real property, and I don't think a life estate. Right?
Okay. No, yeah. I mean, if the surviving spouse, the life estate is only for the surviving spouse.
And only if the decedent has descendants.
Right.
Because if the decedent doesn't have descendants but has parents, or the parents have descendants,
Mhm.
I guess, then the surviving spouse receives half interest in the separate real property but no life estate.
Okay.
That's how I understand it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's kind of they're pulling the switcheroo on us,
A little
but
bit. Yeah.
okay.
And I'm gonna meet with Elton tomorrow, so I can confirm.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet with him, and I'm just gonna go through everything.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? He really enjoys teaching. I spent an hour with him yesterday on pretermitted children. He's such a cool dude.
He really is.
Yeah, he's really into teaching. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Homestead rights of surviving spouse. Piece of real property used by decedent and surviving spouse that they were living in immediately before death are the same. Homestead rights are the same whether husband. What's HS?
Let's see. Our homestead rights are the same whether
I guess the homestead was the decedent's separate property or community property.
Okay.
Rental.
Not homestead. He must be owning.
Very interesting. How would that property pass? Can only have one homestead.
Yes.
Okay. Marital homestead is exempted from creditors' claims. Exempt from debts other than one purchased property from.
Yeah, that's what I remember about the homestead rule is like that creditors can't attack like your um, that asset, your homestead. I think that's the main purpose of it. Yeah, you can't be forced to sell it to pay off unsecured creditors. And this is a homestead exception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good to know because there's the things about the later on we'll learn about the like abatement order. How do you pay off
Okay, I'm
creditors?
Okay, flashcard about that. Homestead exception. Surviving spouse cannot be forced to sell a homestead
And has the right to stay in the homestead.
to pay unsecured creditors. Only one homestead is allowed.
Wait, unsecured creditors or
Yeah, it just says unsecured.
okay. Yeah. Unsecured credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
So, but liable for secured. So, like mortgages, tax liens.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah, homestead cannot be sold for unsecured. That's what I would remember about it. Okay, occupancy rights of a surviving spouse.
Surviving spouse owns 1/3 life estate. Homestead was separate real property. Has the exclusive right. Surviving spouse has the exclusive right to occupy. Homestead cannot be partitioned if surviving spouse dies, sells interest, or abandons.
Can be partitioned.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. If surviving spouse dies, sells the interest or abandons it.
So she can sell that 1/3 life estate.
Yeah, I guess so because it says sells interest.
Okay, cool. Not partitionable and exclusive right to occupy.
I guess not partitionable without the surviving spouse's permission or consent. It says don't confuse ownership rights and occupancy rights.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like the life estate versus actually how much you own. So like, let's see here. With the homestead exception, it doesn't say anything about the percentage of ownership or anything. It's just saying you have a life estate, I guess. The surviving spouse has a life estate.
Mm-hmm. And so that's just like, I suppose one might think that 1/3 life estate means you don't have the right to occupy it, but you do in this case because of the homestead rule.
No, because a life estate, from what I understand, a life estate is precisely that, your right to occupy
Mm-hmm.
the place.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll go through the problems and see if
Yeah,
something
yeah.
comes up like that.
I doubt it. I think it's all going to be like, this is who died, and it's going to be really
Pretty
complicated.
straightforward.
And then you're just going to have to say who gets what. So
Yeah.
she gets a 1/3 life estate,
Right.
and then etc.
Right.
Yeah, and then the child gets this. So problem one. Is this exactly like on the syllabus?
Yes, I believe so.
Nice. And you drew out force and everything. Yeah, this is exactly it. That's good. Good beans. Okay, so basically spouse, all three children. I always like drawing it out, so
Okay.
I don't know, but I think I know the answer without drawing. This is an easy one.
Okay.
So first you do separate personal property. Do you want to like alternate? Like I'll do this
Yeah.
one and then you'll do the next. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, so separate personal property. Spouse gets 1/3, and then the children, which there's 3, they divide and get the rest of the 2/3 for separate personal property.
Okay.
Is that right? Or
Yes, that's
okay.
correct.
And then for separate real property, spouse gets 1/3 life estate, with the remainderman going to the children. The 2/3 going to the children.
So
No. Wait. Or is that right?
So it says here that for the separate real property, surviving spouse gets 1/3 life estate, then 2/3 goes to the children in fees
Okay.
absolute.
Oh, and then they get the remainder of the 1/3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you do 2/3 and 1/3 times 3. I guess that's what they're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that times
So
3? How do
1/3.
they do that?
The 2/9.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's
They multiply it
2/3
by 3,
times
right?
1/3. Yeah. So like it's
2/3. Do they divide it by 3? Yes, that's what it is. It's 2/3 divided by 3 because that makes it 2/3 times 1/3. And so it's 2 ninths in fee simple absolute for each child and 1/9 invested remainder.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite as easy as I like to think it is.
Yeah, it's
Can I
these
have a sheet of
fractions.
paper?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because when I read it, it's like, oh yeah, I know this. It's different when you try to think of it yourself.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Just kind
thank
of
you.
done. Great. So this is the same journal I used in criminal law. I barely took any notes, and
Really?
anyway, yeah, I'm
Wow.
embarrassed.
All you're here today, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that is right. Seems like such a long time ago.
Really? I don't feel like it's a long time ago at all.
We've learned a lot in the meantime, you know.
You think so?
I mean, I feel like mentally it's been like a really, I don't know. I guess I hear what you're saying. We haven't really learned anything. It's just all fake.
I was just kidding.
Oh. Yeah, I was about to say, come on, Chelsea. This is like 3 years of law school.
I really enjoyed law school.
Yeah, it's been good. It's a good experience.
It's been fun. In a challenging way. Okay, so did you do all of it?
And then
No,
okay,
community
so,
property. You have to talk
okay,
about
so
that.
community property. They're all the same child, right?
What do you mean?
Or they're all descendant of the same parent, the surviving spouse.
That's
Okay,
correct.
so that means she takes all community property.
That is correct.
Oh, nice.
She keeps her original half,
Mm-hmm.
and then she takes the decedent's half.
Nice. Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. And if they were different parents,
It would be a different scenario,
mm-hmm.
which I'm sure we'll go through in just a minute. So with separate real and separate personal, the surviving spouse takes 1/3 in both instances.
Yeah, but the surviving spouse gets a 1/3 life estate in the real property.
Yeah.
And I guess the personal property is just she gets the 1/3, and it doesn't seem like it's going back anywhere, like a
Yeah.
remainder.
No.
I don't think you have remainders in personal. I mean, that's not important, but yeah.
No, I think you're right. Okay. All right. So we have a little bit of a different situation here. So I need to talk about community property, separate personal, separate real property. Okay. So the surviving spouse takes 1/2 of the decedent's half in community property.
Right. Well,
So
1/2 of she takes her 1/2 for certain,
yes,
and then if
and ends up with a total of 3/4 of all of the community property, because I think that she takes half of the decedent's community half of his half, which is 1/4.
I'm actually not sure about that. Are you sure about that?
No, I'm just going to say that because I'm guessing right now.
But because here it says she gets, or I'm just saying, just she is surviving spouse gets like 1/2 of community property.
Mm-hmm.
Surviving spouse will inherit all of the decedent's 1/2 or none of it. The decedent's
all or half, or all or none.
yeah. So she'd get all of it if the children are all of the same parent.
Okay.
But if it's a separate parent,
So then
she doesn't get.
C1 and C2 take 1/4 each. Is that right?
Well, not in this case.
What do they take?
Oh, we're on number 1 still, right?
1B?
Oh, we're on 1B? Oh, I'm so sorry, Chelsea.
okay.
I feel okay. I'm sorry.
We've moved on to the next one.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah. So she gets her 1/2, right? And then
Yeah.
they have to split up.
So I guess on the exam I would say surviving spouse takes 1/2 community property, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say C1 and C2 take 1/4.
Each, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about C3? Does C3 get anything?
No, I believe that the surviving spouse takes on C3's behalf, just like in the earlier problem. Remember? Like
Wait,
what's,
so C1 are decedent's children from the marriage prior to this.
I believe. Oh no, that's not what it says in the answer. Interesting. It says that the surviving spouse retains her half, but then C1, C2, and C3 divide the half community property per capita, and that each gets 1/6. All of the children are equally related to the decedent. Ignore how they are related to the surviving spouse.
Okay, yeah. So then they divide it up and they get like 1/30.
Children are all or nothing.
Oh, 1/2.
All children share equally, even though they're step siblings. Interesting. So you do 1 times. Okay. This is a learning moment.
Yeah, okay, this is good.
Okay.
So,
So separate personal property, I would say that the surviving spouse gets 1/3. And separate personal,
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
and then I would say that the remaining 2/3 goes to C1, C2, and C3.
Yeah, so they get
Hold on,
2/3
See.
times
1/3.
2 nights.
They get 2 nights each.
Nice. Let's check that.
So separate property, see above.
Oh,
Same
'cause
thing.
it's probably the same thing. Oh, but yeah, okay. Alrighty, yeah. Alright, so let's do separate real property.
Okay. The surviving spouse gets a 1/3 life estate, and then C1, C2, and C3 get a 2/3 in fee simple absolute, with a 1/3. Is it called vested remainder? In fee
It
simple
is a
absolute.
vested remainder, yeah.
Okay, cool. Literally, I read through all these problems. I was like, yeah, I get it. And now that I'm trying to actually work them, it's a totally different story. Okay, you do the next one, Charles.
Okay. Alright. Okay, so problem 2. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Okay, so only surviving spouse and everybody's dead. Okay, she just gets 100%. That's kind of.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's the answer.
I think you got the easy one.
Yeah, you want me to do? I'll do number 3. I'll do number 3.
Are you sure? I'm just kidding.
Wait.
That was so easy.
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
Okay, problem 3.
But like that, and if everyone is dead, it just cheats, right?
Can we just get that on the final? That'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah, that'd be like the best thing. Okay, so 2 children. I have to draw this out.
So it looks like the only person that's surviving is one child and the spouse.
Mm-hmm. C1, yeah. You know what? Do the grandchildren get anything?
They're all dead.
Oh, they're all dead. Oh, okay. Well, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, surviving spouse. Okay. Okay. Wait, no, sorry about that. And they're all the same. Okay, same parents. Okay. Okay. So, separate personal property, surviving spouse gets 1/3,
Mm-hmm.
and C1 gets 2/3. Separate real property, S1 gets 1/3 life estate with remainder to C1. C1 has a 2/3 fee simple absolute plus 1/3 best remainder fee simple.
Correct.
Oh, nice. And then community property, I said she gets 100%, which is half of the decedent's one half and one half of surviving spouse. Yeah, nice.
Here's what I don't understand. In this instance, the spouse takes half the community property and the child takes half. Right?
Yeah.
But why in problem one does the spouse take everything when there's children who are alive?
No, the spouse gets everything here. Right? Community property.
I don't think so.
Spouse would have 100%. She takes the decedent's one half.
She does.
Yeah.
Okay, so community property, the surviving spouse takes 100%.
And so it's like, it's her half of the, because the community is like two halves, right?
Yes.
So she gets her half and then her husband's one half.
Okay. That's what was throwing me off.
Okay, yeah. So you always divide it in two, and you really only divide it if there's other, if the decedent had other children from a different marriage.
From a different marriage.
Yeah.
That's what was throwing me off. Okay.
Okay.
I just need that to stick.
Let's do 4.
Okay, am I going to do problem? Are we doing
4, I think.
Okay.
Let's both do it, but good practice.
I think it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, just you give it to the grandchild.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing, but
Super.
everyone dies.
Okay.
Okay. Should I do 5? Or...
No, because it's my turn.
Wait, I thought you did.
Well,
4.
we both did that one together, and it was the same as the earlier problem, so it doesn't count.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay. This one's kind of doable too.
Okay, so here there's no community property.
Yeah.
And if there's no community property, then is there a distinction between separate real and separate personal? There can't be, because who cares what's separate at that point, right?
Well, I mean, just there is no, or you just split
Yeah,
the
because if there's
community.
no community, then there's no separate, then it's just the entire state, and so that's what I would think.
Right.
And then I think that C1, C2, and C3 would each take
Essentially 1/3 of everything.
1/3 each.
But on the test, I would say, like, because there's no spouse, and, you know what I mean?
You would?
Yeah,
You could say they
yeah.
take per capita. I can
Yeah,
never
definitely.
memorize per capita versus per stirrups,
Yeah,
per stirrupies.
yeah,
I can never memorize the difference.
but remember, per capita is the rule in Texas.
There's per stirrupies though too. Isn't that like if one of the people in the line is deceased and then their descendants take, then it's per stirrupies?
It's like you go by the roots.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to show you what the difference is, or? Well, when we get to an example, I'll tell you.
Okay.
But I mean, I try to avoid it because I think it's not going to be on the test. Do you want me to do number 6? Okay.
But don't say anything until I try to figure this out too.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Good.
when.
I'm slow. I need to draw everything out.
I'm ready whenever you are.
What? It's bananas, yeah. Okay. Actually, this one is kind of easy, I think.
This one's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so I got C1 has 1/3 of everything, basically. Separate personal, separate real, and community.
Okay, you don't need to make that distinction because there's no spouse here. It's just a single person who dies. So you're just dividing the entire estate.
Oh, nice. Okay. And then C2 gets 1/3. And then G4 through G6, you do 1/3 times 1/3.
1/3 do, yes.
Yeah.
Well, basically 1/3 divided by 3, which is 1/3 times 1/3.
Yeah. Which is 1/9, right? Nice.
I'm sorry, I just have to send you really fast.
Oh, this is interesting. What would happen if C3 owed decedent a debt? No, the debt cannot be taken out of C3's one share, C3's share.
Sorry.
No worries. Let me check if Kayla's supposed to visit us. She has a Christmas party to attend. Alrighty.
Probably 7.
Well, there was like a note here. The debt can't be taken out of C3's share if you inherit it.
What would have happened if C3 had owed decedent a debt? The debt cannot be taken out of C3's share.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So, like, I don't know if you owed some part of a mortgage
Oh, I see.
or something, or maybe like a car and you owe a couple thousand on it.
Says you don't inherit from the father, you inherit through the father.
I don't know what that means, but okay. I guess that's just like kind of a debt thing. They don't want you to have to pay off all the debts.
It's like you don't inherit from him in order to have to pay off his debt. You just inherit through your relation to him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 7. Do you want to do it or?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready whenever you are. I'm going to the restaurant. Be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, what's up? Mm-hmm. Okay. Chelsea and I are just like going through stuff. Yeah, we're doing went over part of an outline and doing some problems now. This. Don't do it. No, you don't. School's. No, I'm hanging in there. I need to like learn all this, so. Okay, sounds good. But Kayla just called. She said she might not come.
Okay.
So 1/3 of the study group has deemed. No, wait, has lapsed. She doesn't get the gifts. Okay. Alrighty. I got 7, and I think I got it right after looking at the.
Okay, did you get it? Because I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, are you doing problem 8?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Let's see.
Let's just pick up.
Yeah, it's. Okay, so C1 1/3, G2 1/3, and G4 through 6 1/9.
Yes.
Yes. Feeling good about things. Okay. I'll do number 9.
Charles, you just did number 8.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I thought you were doing number 8.
You just called it out. That
Oh,
was you doing
sorry.
it.
I thought.
I was
Oh,
like,
sorry about that.
what is going on here?
Sorry about that. That's my bad. I'm sorry, I just got excited.
Thomas, you do not need to apologize. I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Oh, these great grandchildren, they're pushing it in. Jeez. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. Okay. You go.
Okay, C1 gets 1/3, G2 gets 1/6, and then the other 1/6 gets divided between the great grandchildren, which is 1/12, and
Nice.
then G4, 5, and 6 get 1/9.
Not too bad. Like
Okay.
it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
It's just you
You
get,
just have to practice it a
yeah.
little bit.
Alrighty. You want me to do 10?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I would say they all get 1/6 each. All six grandchildren.
Okay, I haven't tried it yet. Hold on. Let me
Oh,
see.
sorry.
Oh yeah. I think it's different. Oh no, you're right. You were right. I would have at the top of my head made it different for each one, but since
I think you would have
it's
taken
even
this the
line.
per stirpes. This is how per stirpes would be different. So like per stirpes, G1 would have gotten 1/3. G2 and 3 would have divided 1/3 in half. Uh,
I would have got 1/6.
yeah. So, but with per capita,
Mm-hmm.
this is how you represent the. Yeah. All right. Let's check the answer. Yes.
You're right. They each share the same degree, so they each take per capita. You ignore any generation who would have been an heir if that generation is all dead.
Nice.
Oh.
I know. It's like getting the yawns. It's only
Oh.
4:09. I think it's like lack of sunlight, but anyway, I'll complain.
I'm doing this right.
Yeah, me too. Okay,
Okay, this one I did get right.
it's tricky business.
Super tricky.
Apply the modern American rule, ignore the children generation. Each grandchild takes equal share. So that you divide it by 1/6.
See, I thought that since G3 was dead, that G2 would just take 1/12, and then GG1 and GG2 would take 1/24. But G2 still takes 1/6. I don't really get that.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. I guess so. You just like you put one, so everybody gets 1/6 because we're at the per capita thing, and then so then that means everybody you pretend like the former generations didn't exist. I mean, like these are just children. So then you would just put one.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
I think so.
So you just pretend like G1 is really like C1, and then you just kind of go from there with the per capita approach.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh. 3 shots of espresso later, and I'm so tired.
Okay. Per problems 12 through 16. This is interesting. Explain over here. Spouse, all children, father, brother. Okay. This is interesting. Do you need more paper?
Not for now, but thank you.
Because this is going to be like a big one, I think.
I still have half.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a bit one.
Okay, let me check my work. Oh, parentelic system, I remember that. Two systems if we have to go outside of descendants. Communication, parentelic. Oh, so parentelic divides without regards to the degrees. So do you know what the answer is for this one?
I really don't. I really do not know. I might have asked a husband about it.
I see that mom takes 1/2.
Yes, I know that.
Where does the rest go? I'm gonna look at my notes from class. Wait, is this, are we doing, yeah, so we're on 12, right? Yeah. And then he jumps to 17. Okay. You know, I think this is different from the syllabus 12. Because
Okay, I think I found it.
what's the answer?
This is what he's saying. Half to the mother,
Okay.
1/8 to the sister. So 1/2 times 1/4.
Right.
So then it says 1/8 to the 3 nieces and nephews.
Oh, okay. That's what I was leaning towards.
Me too.
This is interesting. And then we have this whole talk about parentelic system. That might be a key word to say if we're dealing with moieties. Say like, because we have a parentelic system in Texas, we look to the moieties. Oh, here's a test tip. In essay, we'll always note the number of degrees if in the same degree, especially when dealing with per capita. Okay. So the way we
Wait, always not the number of degrees of staying in the same degree? What does that mean?
So it'd be like 1, 2. So you know the way to count degrees is like you have to go up. Here, I drew these things. I can send this to you. This little chart. I got this chart. It's cool, right? Yeah.
Well, I don't understand what you were just saying though.
Okay, so for counting degrees, look, you have a husband right here, and let's say you want to count to niece one. So husband, you can only go up in degrees. So it's one. So 1 degree to mother, or yeah, and then down to sister because you can't go over, and then down to sister. So that's 2, and then niece is 3
What do
degrees.
you mean 2 to sister?
Okay, so like 1 degree over to mother, and then
Uh-huh.
from mother to sister, which is like another child, is another degree. So that's
Oh.
2nd degree, and then degree down is niece
Third?
one. Yeah.
And so he wants for us to say what relation
I don't know. That's
by
what this.
degree.
I never heard that until I saw it in the. But I mean, it might be like extra. You know, take as many points as you can.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So how many?
I didn't even know that thing about the sibling being like a 2nd-degree thing.
1, 2. Actually, yeah. Where's the book? Don't they have? It's like the first chapter. They have a little chart over here. Oh, check it out. This one, this has the degrees. So every person here represents like 1 degree. So father is 1 degree away from you. Uncle or grandparent is 2 degrees, and then uncle is 3 degrees.
Uncle is 3.
Yeah, because you have
You
to.
go father, grandparent, then uncle.
Yeah, you can't go to the side. You have to go up.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and this dude right here is like 9th degree. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then child is 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. This is really cool. I finally understand what's going on.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my family tree right here.
Okay,
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, problem 16.
We just did 12, right? But
Yeah, for some reason it just jumps to 16.
I think we get the deal though.
Ouch.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I have some wacky hair today. I hate it when my hair, like, I have like these really fine little hairs that get pulled on and it hurts so bad. Okay, so we're doing problem 16.
Yeah, sure, why not? I think everything is kind of. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Or 17.
16 is the next one, right? Parentelic divides without regard to the degrees.
I have the syllabus here. Do you want to do that? 13 through.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I can pull it. I've got it on my laptop.
Okay. Sounds good.
Which number are we doing?
13.
13. You have the answer to it? I think I do somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in there. His office hours are like 3:30 tomorrow, right?
I'm not sure. Does each just take 1/5? since they're all in the same degree.
Or 1/4 because they're all.
But there's 5 people who are surviving. It says, sister 2 has 2 children, and then the other 3 siblings have 1 child each, so that's a total of 5.
Is sister 2 still alive?
No. All the brothers and sisters are dead. It's just the nieces and nephews that are alive. There's 5 of them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I believe it's 1/5 each.
Wait, you have a different 13 than I do, though.
Oh, am I doing problem 14? I think I am.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
I
try
have
it.
an answer
Problem.
for 14, though.
Problem
Nice.
13. That would help. Let's see here. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one. It's super tricky.
Yeah.
I don't know, my gut tells me that they all go forward, but that's probably not right. Oh. Oh. Oh, look who's right.
Yeah, you got it right. Nice.
Yeah. Woo. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm right. I don't know the reasoning for that.
I think it's just you divide each share by, like, equally, right? And it doesn't matter because they're not the same.
I mean, quite frankly, it makes no sense to me. But, I mean, if I can just nail it for the final.
I think it's just like.
Oh, here, it says, side note, if B2 had 2 children, you would divide the 1/4 in half. So
Oh,
1/8.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That makes a little bit more sense now. Because it's not like you're not still doing for stirrups, it's just how it works out in this problem.
Right.
Like,
And it's kind of almost exactly the same as if you were.
Yeah. Okay.
15?
14?
Oh, 14, yeah. But you kind of already said the answer to that.
Yeah, which is, it's the right answer.
Nice.
Do you want to work it, or no, just skip to 15?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just like all the nieces and nephews are alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, problem 15. Oh, goodness. This is so big, I don't even know how to draw it out.
Yeah, this is rough.
No, I don't know if this is right. I feel like I'm very wrong right now.
This is really complicated.
I actually got it right.
Nice. So, what's the answer?
So there's two moieties,
Mm-hmm.
and
Alright.
on the father's side, you have paternal aunt and uncle who are alive. So they take one half of one half. They both take a fourth. And then on the mother's side, the grandmother takes one half of one half.
Okay, which is
Does that make
1/4.
sense to you?
Yeah.
Which is also 1/4. And then the maternal aunt and uncle divide the remaining 1/4.
So it's 1/8. Yeah. I see. Well, should we
It
do
was just drawing that out that was
Yeah.
such a nightmare.
Yeah, it's rough. Should we try to do 16?
That was real rough. Okay. Sure, why not? I just hope that he shows it to us as a chart. Because
What if he doesn't?
I have a hard time drawing these out, like knowing how to label each thing.
Some of them do have them drawn out. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Let's see here. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. The maternal aunt gets one half because there's only one person surviving on the father's side,
Mm-hmm.
and the decedent has no descendants. And then the maternal uncle gets one half of one half, which is a fourth. And then the two cousins get one half of one fourth,
Nice.
180.
Stuff makes sense. Yeah. I'm feeling kind of good about this exam.
Feel okay about intestacy.
Yeah. Which is 1/3 of the exam, right?
Is it?
Yeah, do you need another sheet?
I think I can make room. We're almost done.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Damn it.
No, it's all good. I mean,
I was really trying to make that work.
you gotta use these papers somehow, right?
That's true. You have had it since one all year.
I know, I feel so bad. Anyway. Okay, so 17. Man. It's kind of repetitive. You just gotta get used to figuring it all out.
Yeah, I wish I knew how to label them better, like when I'm drawing out the charts, because it just makes it easier to follow if I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, what are we doing? 17?
Oh, 17, I don't think we even need to really draw it out.
There's only two maternal first cousins who are alive,
Yeah.
so they would get,
1/2 each.
yeah.
And then the thing is, if in this problem, how, if at all, would your answer be different if the decedent were survived by a child of decedent's predeceased spouse from a prior marriage?
It wouldn't change. Stepchildren don't inherit.
Yeah.
Just trying to trip us up.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I'm excited about 18. I get this. This is tricky business right here.
Are they all relatives of the predeceased spouse?
Mm-hmm.
So does this a sheet?
Yeah. Did you take property with Mulvaney?
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite subject in all of property.
I loved it. Oh,
This
what?
sheet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, easy answer. We're done.
True.
I like it.
Okay. In this problem, how, if at all, would your answer be different if decedent's predeceased spouse's deceased sister had been the half sister of the decedent's predeceased spouse? It wouldn't change.
Yeah.
You already won the Alton.
This might be on the test. You never know. So it's good to.
He's being mean though. Don't waste my time.
Oh, 19 is another one.
Cohabitated.
Yeah.
Playing house.
Playing house, right.
Okay. Is she
I'm going to write that on the exam if it comes up.
playing house?
They were playing house.
Exactly. Just make believe. No legal rights. Okay. Problem 20? Is that what we're doing, Charles?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where you do the parlor trick.
What do you mean the parlor trick?
With half-bloods.
Oh no. I forgot about this. Okay, Charles, you're going to have to read the answer. 'Cause
Okay.
I can't remember.
I
Do
can
you
do
need
it.
lotion, by the way? My hair is so
Yeah,
bad.
you know what? I was thinking about bringing lotion.
But did you do it?
No. Yeah, I need lotion.
Yeah, 'cause
I need chapstick. I
Yes.
want to go put on a facial mask.
Right?
Yeah. I put on one this morning. It was great.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
My favorite day is just like, I put him to sleep
You
when,
put,
in the
put what to
morning,
sleep?
like facial mask.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good for
Do you use those or?
Yeah, I use a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love products.
me
I'm
too.
obsessed. Yeah, I love to take like super hot showers, and my skin just gets really dry in the winter, so it just exacerbates and makes it worse. But I never feel clean unless I take like a scalding hot shower.
Really, that's
Yeah.
weird. That's interesting. Well, I mean, it's good, I guess. Huh?
I think you're cleaner when it's like really hot water. It kills more germs.
Really?
For sure.
I mean, like, I guess I take a warm shower. I don't know. Like, it hurts.
Mine
Like,
has to be like scalding hot.
it's like painful.
I think I have a pretty high heat tolerance because I have never really. Well, yeah. The only time it's been painful for me is like if I have a sunburn.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm all about. I have like so many lotions, and I don't know. I just yeah, I want to have soft hands. Do you think I have soft hands?
Do I think you have
Yeah.
soft hands? Yes. Yeah, you definitely do.
Well, let me.
No, my skin's dry right now. It's not soft at all.
I feel like yours is softer than mine. Let me see down here.
I don't think so. No, I think you beat me.
That's
Not
interesting.
like Charles.
Okay, because I'm always like paranoid that I have.
Dry hands.
Yeah,
I know I do right now. It's the winter.
I'm so paranoid about everything.
That's the one thing I hate about the winter. It's like how dry my skin gets.
Yeah,
It
it's
starts to
rough.
crack. It hurts.
Yeah, you know, when I was in college, I used to not use lotion, and it really cracked up pretty bad. I have an interesting morning routine. Anyway, I'll teach you the parlor trick.
The parlor trick?
That's what he called it, so it's good enough for me.
Okay.
Actually, let's see if. Oh, he has an answer. Problem 20.
Okay, so I cannot remember.
But I can teach you what the parlor trick is. Let me try to show it to you.
Okay, yeah, because I can't remember what the rules regarding half-blooded heirs.
Oh, I don't either. I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. Okay, so like half blood, half sister, I guess. So what you do is you give 2 for him for the whole and 1 for the half blood. So like,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and then let's say there's a whole blood over here, and then half sister, half B, and then there's like another one over here. So you give 1, 1, 1 for all the halves, and 2 for a whole.
Yes, I do remember that.
And then let's say there's another hole. There's another hole over here. So that's 2. So you add all these up.
Uh-huh.
That's 2. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so your denominator is 7, right?
Yeah.
And then this person gets 2/7. This person gets 2/7.
Okay.
This person gets 1/7. Does that make sense?
Yes, that helps.
So that's the trick. You add them all up as if this is 2, 2, 1, 1, 1.
Gotcha.
And you could even add another one, and then it'd be like an eighth over here, and that's what would change.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I like that parlor trick.
So
That's what they should have said in the statute, but
yeah, the statutes.
those are like the worst things. I used to think I'd love a code book course, like it's all black letter law. It's terrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, especially the probate code. Okay, so problem 20.
20. So 20. So do you know how to do 20?
Only the brother and the half sister are surviving.
Mm-hmm.
So the brother gets 2, the sister gets 1, the brother gets 2/3, half sister gets 1/3. Correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Let me double check with my notes. Problem 20. Yes, that is correct.
Nice.
You do the next one.
Okay. I'm
It
not
looks
sure,
really easy.
but I think there might be a trick in here somewhere.
I'm just kidding. It does not look easy.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's a huge chart. Okay, don't say anything until I get to go through it too.
okay. You can do it. Got it wrong. It's okay. This is a
Okay.
tricky one.
Okay, I got it. I think I got it.
Oh my gosh.
Did you get it?
No, I got some of it right.
Did you check the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell me if I'm right.
Okay, so this guy, the side of the family, he gets one half, right? First cousin, once
Yes.
removed. Okay, and then the half bloods each get 1/8,
That's not what I got.
and then the cousins got 1/8 each. I can tell you.
No. Oh wait. Yes. Okay. Yes. Because. Yes, that's right. Because I got 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, but that's I didn't do the half. It needs to be divided by a half, so they all get 1/8. I forgot about the half.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So they get 1/8, and then.
Dang it. So close.
Yeah, I had a mistake too.
Yeah, that can be tricky.
So you just have to consider them like close to the ant. Oh man, if this wasn't drawn out, it'd be rough.
Nightmare.
Oh, he gives us an additional hypo right here. Brent Dory.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Page 20. Man, Chelsea, I feel good about intestacy.
Yeah, we really went through that. Where do you see the additional hypo? What page are you on?
Page 15. Like towards the bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me. I don't know what the heck is going on here.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm
gonna
just
ignore that.
yeah. Let's just. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's You want to go spouse of an informal marriage? Like after, do you want to try to do these hypos? C dies. How should C's estate distribute? Oh, I kind of.
What?
Yeah. Do you want to just like? I think we get half bloods.
Yeah, I feel fine about it.
You want to do spouse of an informal marriage?
Excuse me. A common law marriage is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing as normal marriage.
It includes homestead rights.
Mm-hmm. Adopted children essentially become children.
La la la.
Parent acts through the parent. Adopted adults. I guess that happens.
okay, definitely you want to remember the adopted adults thing, Charles,
Mm-hmm.
because there's like a really weird, like consequence that can come from this that's not really intended by the lawmakers. And that said, like, okay, um, let's say that a child will, no, I'm sorry, let's say that an adult who's like 20 years old
Mm-hmm.
gets adopted by his stepmother.
Mm-hmm.
He will not inherit from his biological father when he dies because of this law. Basically, if
Okay.
you're
You
an
can't
adopted
inherit from
adult,
both.
yeah, you cannot
Okay.
inherit from yeah, you can't inherit from both. So you can't inherit from your biological parents, only from your adopted parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
No dual inheritance unless you're an adopted child, and then you can inherit dually.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so if you're, like, I guess adopted before 18, you can inherit from both.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're adopted after 18, you only inherit from.
That's what I see.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
says
that's
only
important
applies
to
to
know.
persons adopted as an adult after 18. Does not apply to children adopted under 18. Adopted adults may not inherit from or through the adult's natural biological parents. So that's what I would remember from that. I don't know why there's a thing on order terminating parental rights. Like basically, oh, excuse me, the child still retains the right to inherit from through the parent unless the court provides otherwise, even with an order terminating the parental rights. Interesting. Very interesting. So basically, a parent can terminate his rights, but under intestacy, I suppose, the child can still inherit unless the court explicitly says otherwise. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you're talking about the order terminating parental rights?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, it terminates everything except for the right to inherit, unless the court explicitly states otherwise. Okay, there's some talk about constructive trust here.
Right, so that's basically if you kill someone to get there, like to get inherit to.
Yeah, I think there's a law that's drafted against that, like at least with life insurance. Yeah, or like a constructive trust is imposed if someone wants to sue you for like wrongful death.
Mm-hmm.
They can take your portion. I think. Sorry, I don't know if that helps. See. Yeah, unworthy heir. You're barred from taking under the will, inheritance, insurance, for someone who intentionally kills someone. It's like a law against that. but an inheritance will still pass if the person commits suicide. There used to be laws against that too.
Right, but I think nowadays it's only like the slayer, essentially.
Do you know what the difference is between corruption of the blood and unworthy heir? Because here it's saying corruption of blood prevents inheritance if someone is convicted or imprisoned for certain crimes. So it's prohibited by the Texas Constitution.
Oh, well, that solves that, right?
Well, that almost confuses me a little bit because I still thought that there were laws in place for that sort of thing.
I know it was in the book somewhere. Maybe it's in this chart.
I don't think so. That one's not for Texas specifically, but it's in the book.
Yeah, it's definitely in the book. I
Let
remember
me see
going.
what my notes say, because I know that my notes will be more clear.
Unworthy heirs. So you have forfeiture, civil death, corruption of blood.
Oh, okay. So it's a subcategory of an unworthy heir?
Yeah, so there's like 5 types of unworthy heirs: forfeiture, civil death, suicide, and killing.
Forfeiture, civil death, suicide.
These highlighted portions.
Okay.
And I think they're all.
Forfeiture refers to common law principle.
It's like
Texas
killing a
Constitution
felon.
prohibits forfeiture.
It's funny.
Texas does not recognize civil death unless property passes to a person's heirs only upon biological death. Texas Constitution prohibits corruption of the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Constitution abolishes these common law rules.
Except, I think, heir killing intestate.
I believe so. Only applies if a beneficiary of a life insurance policy is convicted and sentenced as a principal or accomplice in willfully bringing about the death of the insured. Heir killing intestate. How do I remember that? Just know it only applies to life insurance, and you have to be convicted.
Oh, so like you kill the person to get their life insurance, right?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
It actually happens a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
So you have to be convicted,
Right.
either for willfully doing it or as an accomplice.
Yeah.
What page was that again?
39.
39.
As a principal or accomplice in willfully bringing about death.
Principal or accomplice.
So this isn't
Principal.
like some. This is
I'll probably
criminal.
make a flashcard
Yeah.
saying which unworthy heir statute applies in Texas, and then I'll make it heir
You can make
killing
it. You can just
intestate.
copy this, right? Do you want me to type it up and email it?
No, I'm going to do it
Okay.
right now.
Cool.
And that one's called heir killing intestate.
Mm-hmm.
So it only applies if a beneficiary of a life insurance policy is convicted and sentenced as a principal or accomplice in willfully bringing about the death of the insured.
Where are you making the flashcards for this?
It's called Quizlet.
Oh, nice.
You can access it yourself, or what I can do is send you a link on Facebook. But yeah, like this is how I make them. But like, if I click done, you can do this.
Oh, nice.
And basically you can like discard them or keep them to like make your pile smaller. So it's like a regular flashcard set. You can access them online
Yeah.
or on your phone.
Nice.
I really, yeah,
Could you
I really
email
like
it to me, or
let me see if I can email it. Hold on.
just like, I guess
Let's see
it's
here.
really cool.
Share
Share it on Twitter.
via email. What's your email address again?
CHARLIE.
Charlie A. Lincoln.
Oh, there's two E's in there. Sorry. Yeah, and then Indigo Victor. Yeah, at yahoo.com. Oh wow, you know my email. Make me feel special.
Almost.
You make me feel special.
I remember from earlier.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. So I do have. Oh, okay. Remember how we were talking about heir killing intestate rule for the unworthy heir thing?
Mm-hmm.
Alton says that in that case, the nearest relative of the insured is then entitled to inherit. I also have my notes. Alton will ask a question about constructive trust on the final. And then it says, constructive trust is not automatic. Someone with standing has to ask the court for it to be imposed. So just remember that, like it's not automatic. You have to request it.
Okay. It's good to know. Is that in this?
That's from my own personal notes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Wrongdoing heirs, disqualification of a quote-unquote bad parent. A bad parent may not inherit by and through the child. Requires clear and convincing evidence. Disinheritance is not automatic. It must be declared by the court. The disinheritance does not incur, regardless of the Parents Act, if the child is under 18. Oh, it allows the court to disqualify a parent as an heir for a laundry list of bad acts relating to a child who dies intestate and under the age of 18. The parent must voluntarily abandon the child's mother during pregnancy, fails to provide adequate support or medical care, being apart and failing to support the child, and conviction for a variety of crimes. The parent would be treated as predeceasing the child. It only applies to inheritance.
For
Did you
the
get that?
laundry list of crimes, right?
I'm not worried about that. I
Yeah.
just remember that there's like a wrongdoing heir deal. That a quote-unquote bad parent can be disqualified, but it applies if the child dies intestate, is under the age of 18, and requires the court. It requires the court to make a ruling on it. Yeah. Okay, a marriage can be voided if the party lacks mental capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Will completely remove an ex-spouse if that's inherent sensitive rights. Okay, now we have the 120 hours survivorship rule. The default rule is that you must live 120 hours longer than the decedent, or you'll be treated as having predeceased. It can be drafted around, and the drafting trumps the statute. The purpose of the statute, carry out the probable intent of the decedent. I already said that. Oh yeah, defining death. Common law definition, irreversible cessation of the person's spontaneous respiratory and circulatory functions, brain death.
That's interesting.
Cessation of all spontaneous brain function. So brain death applies. Okay, there's some problems here. You want to work through them?
Sure. Okay. Oh, these are the problems from the syllabus, actually.
Okay.
And they're kind of tricky, so it's good that we
can do this one. We'll just go back and forth on this again.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Okay. Do you need any more paper?
No, thank you.
Got lots of paper, unfortunately. It's kind of embarrassing on my part, but
no, I'm happy to do. I don't have any.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is like 3 classes journal, and I still have.
I think that's a really good multiple problem to have.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tom's will lose $10,000 either to his cousin Robert or to his cousin Roberta, whichever of them survives the other. Tom's will contains no other dispositive or relevant provisions. He dies of natural causes on August 1st. I don't think it matters how he dies. He dies. Robert and Roberta both die intestate on August 2nd, the following day. Roberta dies 1 hour after Robert. Assuming that Tom's will is valid. Who takes the $10,000 left by Tom?
I'd say because he. So I'll take this one.
Okay.
Because neither of them survived by 120 hours, you go to Tom's next of kin, next to Bear's.
Okay.
Let's check that.
Hold on.
Okay.
I think that it says whichever of them survives the other, so I think that he's drafted around it. And that in this regard, Roberta survives Robert, even if it's by 1 hour or 1 minute.
So it goes to Roberta's.
I think so.
All right, let's check it.
If an interest is given alternatively to one of 2 or more beneficiaries with the right of each beneficiary to take the independent on that beneficiary's part of the other. But I guess you draft around it. Is that right?
I suppose
or
so.
Or no. Property shall be divided into equal portions as their beneficiaries. Portions shall be distributed to who would have taken the beneficiary had survived. So 5,000 goes to the heirs of Robert, 5,000 to the heirs of Roberta. I'm going to have to ask him about that. It says, whichever of them survives the other. I guess because they're, even though Roberta survived Robert by an hour, she didn't survive Tom by 120 hours, so she and Robert are both considered predeceasing. So I guess it's irrelevant which one survives the other if they both die less than 120 hours after Tom.
Right.
Okay. All right. I'll try to remember that. Okay, so Charles, did you know that you can draft around the 120-hour rule by requiring a devisee to survive the testator? All you have to say is, but only if he or she survives him. And
Nice.
that drafts around the 120-hour rule. And that makes sense. That does make sense with the policy.
I think it's interesting. Like if I yawn, you yawn, you yawn, I yawn. It's contagious.
Yeah, is it going to ever stop that?
And so,
Okay. What else does it say here? Devisee who does not survive the testator by 120 hours is treated as if the devisee precedes the testator unless the testator contains language that deals explicitly with simultaneous death or requires the devisee to survive the testator. The will in this typo falls in the second exception, and then we go to Ellen's heirs.
we're on number 3.
It's so annoying how everyone who walks by the stairs into the room.
Really? Oh, I never. Yeah. I guess
Everyone, they just walk by all of this when they walk in, like right into the room.
That's funny.
It's awkward. I can see it out the corner of my eye. It's like, stop it. Okay, problem 3. Tori's will leaves my summer home in the mountains to Helen, but only if she survives Harry. Tori's will contains no other dispositive provisions. Tori dies of natural causes on August 1st. Harry dies on August 2nd. Helen dies on August 3rd. So they all die less than 120 hours later. Assuming that her will is valid, who takes Tori's summer home? Okay, there's another weird thing here. Do you want to know the answer?
You should tell me.
Okay.
Like what? Oh, and
So under the statute, 121.1028 conditions the right of a beneficiary to succeed on the beneficiary surviving another person. The beneficiary is considered not to have survived the other person unless the beneficiary survives the person by 120 hours. So basically, I'm like, okay, my house of Charles will only if he survives Claire, and then if you don't survive Claire by 120 hours, then you don't inherit it.
okay. So then it goes to whose heirs? Your heirs. No, it goes to my heirs then.
Does it? Would go to Ellen's heirs. Why?
You said I was Helen.
Yes, you are Helen, so it would go to your heirs. Okay, that's good to know. What are you looking for?
I wanted to get my gum. Do you want some?
I'm okay. Thank you, though.
All right.
These are tricky.
So 4 now.
Okay, Urban Wilma died intestate in an accident on August 1st. Urban Wilma have 2 children, Alan and Betty. In addition, Wilma has a child, Carla, from a previous marriage. There are no other children. How should Urban Wilma's community estate be distributed among Alan, Betty, and Carla? Let's just deal with the 120-hour rule. Oh. answer?
Mm,
Not
yeah,
yet?
maybe. I gotta read the, yeah. Really? I mean, it's interesting for the
I mean, it helps
test.
me to study if I think it's interesting, right?
That's a good mindset. I agree with that. It is very interesting.
It's so fascinating.
This is some deep stuff.
It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm so enlightened. My life will never be the same.
Yeah. I just need this for the bar and done.
Well, just know that if you know a married couple and neither person has a will and they have children and they die at the same time, then their estates get divided in half.
Oh, so that's the rule to take from this. Okay. Chelsea, you're a good teacher. You should become a law professor.
I don't know about all that. Yeah, so half goes to the husband.
Then his kids.
Mm-hmm. So A and B get 1/4.
Oh,
Half
that
of the
makes
half.
sense.
Then A, B, and C, because they're all the children of the wife, get 1/3 of 1/2, which is 1/6. So does that mean that A gets 1/4 plus 1/6, and B gets 1/4 plus 1/6 of the total estate? I think so.
Yeah. So you just divide it up. So if they die within 120 hours of each other.
Yeah, 5/12 for A and B. Yeah, 5/12 for A and B, and then C just gets 1/6, I believe. Oh, it says it later.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we know that.
Okay.
Oh, very interesting. How does the separate property pass? You
How?
have to do it separately. You go through the separate property statutes.
Oh, so that was just for community property.
It was.
Okay. Well, that makes.
Well, okay, so the separate property, I guess the A and B would get half of the father's. They would get half each, right? And then C, no. Wait, hold on, let me look at this chart again. Yeah. A and B will get half of the father's separate property. And then A, B, and C would get 1/3 of the mother's separate property.
Yeah, I think so. And that's both real and personal.
Is it?
Or, you know what I mean? It'd be the same for separate personal and separate real property.
I don't know. But I'm starting to think I might need to take a little break.
Yeah, I need a little break. It's getting,
I mean, we've gone through a lot.
yeah.
We have a lot more to go through, but I
We're
think it's
kind
a
of
good time to
halfway
break.
through, though.
No, we're not.
1/3 through.
I'd say about 1/3.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if we can get another 1/3 through, I think
Yeah.
that. it's pretty
Yeah, if we
good.
get another third through tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow, I'm
this would be a good
visiting
dinner break
Lawson.
time.
Yeah, I gotta go. They're not selling food upstairs, are they? Probably not.
I don't know what time they close.
I mean, like, they used to have salads and stuff up there.
Yeah, they're,
Everything good is gone.
yeah.
Do you want to just call it a day, or? I mean, it's up to you. I'm gonna be here till
I
midnight.
definitely don't.
Okay,
I
cool.
want to keep going through this as much
I
as
don't want to keep
possible.
you here, you know what I mean?
No, I want to go through, like, if I can talk this out with someone, it makes a huge difference
good,
for
yeah.
me. Because, like, if I just sit here and read it, it goes in and out.
Yeah.
But if I talk
No, I
about
think it's
it,
good,
it
and
sticks.
then we kind of, yeah, our psyche, like, kinda
I think
keeps
it's
us
good.
going.
Yeah, and it just keeps you more, like, involved, I think. It's just my theory.
Okay. Well, what do you think is healthy food? Like Wendy's?
But Wendy's?
Yeah, it's really good for you. Probably.
But why would you think that Wendy's is healthy? No, it's not.
They say they're
Do
healthy.
you want me to tell you that so you feel better eating it?
Wait, they say all their food is natural. Yeah,
Of course you're joking.
No, I'm
I know
not.
you're smarter than that.
it's the most healthiest food
It's Charles.
you can get.
Charles, no. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
You're gonna
You
get a
should-
panic attack.
No. Oh, wait.
I eat at Salada almost every single day. Have you been there before?
No, but it's
Really? It's pretty much walking distance from here. It's just like a giant salad bar.
no way. There's a salad bar?
Yeah. I can't believe you've never been there.
I don't know anything. I just know where's that coffee shop, Buongiorno?
Literally, I could not get through law school without Salada, but
Salada. Fort Worth?
I might pick up from a restaurant around here. Just get something nice.
Yeah.